In this video, let's talk about a situation of if you're an employee at a company and you now have to work from home more.
This video is brought to you by Appy Pie Academy.
You have to have your activity seen, have your work seen. If you're sitting in an office, of course, what you're doing is more visible because people talk to you, they see your screen, you're interacting with people, you're having more meetings. There's a lot less of all of this when you work from home, so people don't exactly know what you're doing. They're wondering. And sometimes when they're wondering, they're also skeptical. And you just have to take that skepticism out of the picture. So you just send more emails with more updates, just more than usual. You don't want to be too much. You don't want to be annoying and crowd people's inboxes. But at the same time, you do want to fill in that hole of communication, the gap of communication, with just more emails. CC more people on your team. Send updates to your boss, like in daily or weekly summaries. If you're doing that every day, you don't have to do it in a summary official format. They don't have to be official looking. They can just be a part of maybe like a strategy. You can say, I completed such and such task today. For tomorrow, does doing such and such task, is that a good idea? And so in the same breath, you're kind of telling your boss, okay, I did this today. So the boss, check mark goes off in their brain. Oh, they worked. Very good. And we're making progress. Very good. And at the same time, you're getting there okay about the next day. Check mark again. They feel good that everything's moving on the right track. There is no mistake in strategy. They're being fully kept in the loop. And that's half the battle, because when people don't know what's going on, that's where things go astray. As long as you clearly document and communicate what's going on, and especially if you get there okay about your activities for the next day, and it's totally fine. Because if they ever say, oh, I don't like that you did this, or why did you decide that? You can say, well, I emailed you and you said that's totally fine. We agreed on it. That's what I did. So you kind of actually protect yourself in that way as well. So make sure you always get your boss's sign off on everything, because misunderstandings can also happen more frequently when you're not in person, when you're just communicating by email. So having them be a part of this and having them approve everything will make your work safer for you, and you won't have the situation where they'll second guess your decision, because at the end of the day, it was their decision too. And if you're out of things to send, you can actually send some interesting industry news or developments, especially if it's a weekend or like a slow day and you don't have too many things to report. You can send some interesting industry news, and there's no shortage of that. I mean, there's all kinds of bloggers, general news websites that have a ton of new interesting ideas and content on every industry. So all you have to do is just read up on current industry news, and if you send it to your team, they'll appreciate it, and it will make you look like you're passionate about the work because you're on your own being active and researching the industry. Now, in addition to all this, there's a whole mindset of using working from home as a way to get ahead, because many people, after working at an office, they don't feel comfortable working from home. There's a period of adjustment for them. And for you, the idea is that you'll have a shorter adjustment period and you're going to be active and engaged through all that extra communication and work that we just talked about. And it's going to be an opportunity for you to get ahead of other teammates, to show your boss that you're doing a better job. So don't look at it as a way to relax at home, but set the same high goals for yourself and the same high standards that you always set when you go to the office. And then guess what? Don't just meet them, overachieve and exceed them. That should be the same mindset, like I'm sure you already have at work, or at least you hope to have at work. And if you have that mindset, and if you're active, and if you update everyone, then you're going to appear and be a star player. And it's really important to be both of those, because if you're a star player and people aren't really noticing that, you're not going to get the recognition and wonder, why don't they appreciate me? Well, they don't appreciate you because they don't know exactly what you're doing. You got to be the one keeping them in the loop, because they can't see it because they're at home and you're at home. So it's not enough to just do the work. You have to do both. Do the great work like you always do, and make it seen and understood by others on your team, especially your boss, that you're doing it. That's the goal.